Last episode of Girls Band Cry, we had a focus on Tomo and a backstory on why she's afraid to voice her opinion, and it being the reason why her band disbanded in the first place, but seems like she might be getting over it and being able to tell Momoka that yes, the song is kind of boring, we should fix that. So I suppose we will see how this song that they've been working on will be improved, you know, for the festival and all that. And we'll just have to see what's going to happen in this episode. Full lengths are on Patreon, and early access in the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Weird abbreviation on everything. Trying to sell merch yet again? Toge Toge? Toge Toge Tao. Okay, the fact that they're still trying to sell merch is very funny. Like, okay, look, I would say is that, why are you selling merch specifically, physically, you know? Just sell it online. Go on Shopify or something. Go on Fourth Wall. Oh, more lines. Holy shit, though. She is just got a whole Yuri fan base over there. An official liaison. Golden Archer. Is that a motto or a talent agency? For, like, the entire band? Or just one person? A talent agency. I mean, that's like a very broad thing, right? It could be a talent for everything. Anything, I mean. Wait. I think I might hear the bass somewhere in there. Actually, I couldn't. I felt like I might have heard it, but I'm just like, is that the drums? I don't know. You know, the last time I went to a place where they're just like, oh, you should look up our name, and like, you'll see in the Google finishes, they'll see that we make 8 figures or something, you know? And then I was like, okay, I'll search it up, and the first thing I see in their name that like finishes it is scam. I was like, oh shit. Like idol shit? Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow, that's how Nina feels. Damn. Yeah, get together with the times, young people. You see Tomo just sitting there? Oh, uh-huh. Leave your mark there and we'll talk, alright? Miura. Okay, I actually do need to... Okay, I guess I'll write that down somewhere. My name list is starting to get low. It's actually not busy at all. It kind of is, but also isn't at the same time. Okay, Miura. And I also gotta actually write that she's from the freaking agency, or else I'm gonna be like, who the hell is Miura? Shiomi. Okay. I gotta say, the fact that... Hold on, I have to check. Yeah, the fact that that's part of the fucking subtitles, that the freaking Sops Please does that shit, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. Miles upon miles better than official Sops. Like, now why did they put so much effort? The things people do for free. Could you write the lyrics for it? Oh. You're the song that grew out of my songs. Yeah, they're in their own world. Hmm? Oh, got a text from somebody. Oh, is that her mom? Oh, that's why she got the text? Ah, your mom's coming, huh? I thought that was her neighbor at first, but I think that's different. I know she's down over there. Ah, Suzune, what? Mom showed up. You don't say? Oh, her dad is... Ah, the sucker! She can't even get back! He's literally just outside her fucking apartment. You don't even know what they want? Well, I mean, she did tell her sister that, like, I'm cutting connections from them, so I have to focus on... Hey, maybe talking with your parents. Maybe talking with your parents could actually help. Did she have an accent before? I didn't realize. Maybe she's just back home. Oh, dude. Maybe they might be... They changed the lock. Railway company. Requested time off for you. Oh, going back home. My past to you. And they died? Oh yeah, they did, oh yeah, I forgot, I forgot Tomo did mention that she lost her parents. Mm-hmm. The thing is that when it really comes to like this whole fucking shit and like you have parents who won't listen to you, or like when you're like really at an impasse, and you know, like Nina, in the end, I would probably assume that they're still thinking about how like Nina is their child and that they have parental authority over her, and so the fact that Nina tells her sister Susan like, hey, I'm cutting up ties with my family, so like fuck y'all, you know, get out of here. It's that feeling of like, oh, my kid, I've done something to my kid, that they are willing to cut connections with me, that changes some parents, you know, changes the way that they think, and it actually is willing to make them open up. And like I've seen this firsthand in my family, so I would presume that's kind of where her parents is coming from, right? That feeling of I've fucked up and now my kid is like wanting to cut connection from me. I have to at least try to do something. Probably, you know? But then, you know, and then there's the whole thing with Rupa, right? Like, that totally makes sense that she lost her parents, and so she's just like, hey, I never had the chance to talk to my parents one last time because I was too busy working, and, you know, I don't want you to miss that chance. That you're actually hung up about. Oh, it's your parents. Of course. The bullying, it's bad, but like, it's even worse when your father didn't take your side, right? Although I will say, changing the lock in her fucking apartment, though? What the hell? Oh my god. Oh, somebody's walking. Oh, there's her parents. Oh, the family tenant. Was that a saw in the back? What was that? Wait, you know how much this fucking hurts her? What is this thing? It's not a buzzsaw, that's for sure. What is this thing? Is this a plate holder? Like what? I don't know. Alright, motherfucker. I take everything. Actually, no, it still can happen, but I was gonna say I take everything back about what I just said. No, it can still happen. It can still happen, especially confrontation and all that, but the whole thing of like, oh, you're being fucking selfish, to which is just kind of like, well, aren't you being fucking selfish as well for wanting your daughter to do what you want to do instead of what she wants to do? You got a place to live thanks to your mother's contact. You still gotta rely on us. Yeah, so you're still a kid. We have parental control over you. Ha ha! Hey. Hey, all I'm gonna say is that even as a kid, they can still disown you, alright? If they take you to... Actually, I don't know how that works in Japan, but, you know, you're in America. The kids can disown you. I'm going home. I did want to get to the same page. Well, see, the problem is, right? You know what? It's not really good that I'm just over here stopping, but then the fucking player is also fucking up as well. But like, sometimes you can't make the parents see the same, you can't see the same page as your parents. You have to make your parents see the same page as you. Which is, again, that whole thing of like, if we can't come to if we can't compromise and we can't come to a conclusion where we both are happy, then maybe it's time for us to split ways instead, right? Just sitting this far apart. Taking her to school? Yeah. They're expecting us. Ooh, hold on. Okay. Norio Nina August. Letter of apology. I don't give a fuck about your letter of apology. Anyways, we at the Higomoto High School extend our deepest apology for not fully appreciating the circumstances surrounding the recent incident involving your daughter Nina. It has come to our attention that this was the result of bullying, and we deeply regret our failure to respond appropriately. We cannot emphasize enough remorse we feel for the distress caused to Nina and your family due to our delay in verifying the facts. This mistake is one we take very seriously, and we are committed to ensuring that it does not happen again. To prevent such incident in the future, we have implemented new measures to foster an environment where every student feels safe and supported. We understand that words alone cannot undo harm caused, but we hope that our actions moving forward will demonstrate our dedication to creating a positive learning space for all students. I will take that letter of apology and I will rip that shit up. Yeah, how about I give you the heat? Oh, they confessed, huh? Bullying is not so clear-cut. The school was fully aware. Oh? Yeah, Dad, you're suddenly taking my side or some shit? Oh. Now we were just crying on her sister. Oh my god. What is Renkon curry? Who cares about family, Tenna? Yeah, get out of here. Things have been a bit strange. Of course. Casually give you the tickets for the train to visit. Oh. Oh, my eyes! Stinging! Oh. Oh. Why, my eyes! I know! It's all spicy up in here. Who's cutting these onions, huh? Why would he be listening to it then? Yeah, don't die of lung cancer, would you? Oh. Your new keys. Yeah, you know, to the apartment that we changed the keys. She ran back. Had to have a running charge. Yeah, listen to it. Mm-hmm. And a pain to deal with, but... Oh, I guess these are the lyrics. It's you again. Ah, deja vu. Ah, this is kind of like, that was like how episode 1 started. It was kind of like that jumping animation that she did. That's like the same jumping animation from episode 1. Oh my god, her whole gang is here. Yeah, I brought your lyrics. They're just teasing you. Yeah. Alright. That's the gif. That's the gif. You know, I kind of expected that she would end up having a good relationship with her family because of this fucking ending that they keep showing. Like how they show Subaru with short hair. Ooh, Very nice episode about Nina and her family. Out here got me all in tears and stuff. But I will say, even though this is kind of a different sort of, not to say a different sort of, like, but, like, I was watching, oh my god, I'm looking at my VLC player. It's just the power usage is very high right now. Why is it taking so much power? Anyways, I was, the latest episode of Mayonaka Punch, which is it episode 8 or 9? I think it was episode 9, right? Or is it episode 10? Anyways, the latest episode from that one, right? It showcases... Sorry, hold on. I currently can't remember. Masaki. There you go. Masaki and Sakura, right? And their relationship. And I had a bit of an issue with, like, how they did their relationship, because it's essentially what Nina said in the end, right? Oh, they're stubborn, they're annoying, you know, they're all this and that, but I love them in the end. And, like, when she says that, like, I'm actually able to understand that and feel it, and I'm just like, yeah, I get it, you know? I totally understand that, like, this is the whole thing with, like, family. You know, you might not agree with each other on everything, but in the end, you still love each other and try to, hopefully, you know, come to into the middle. I mean, right, and compromise and be able to be on a path where both of you are happy. And so when Nina said that, I was like, I understand it very much. But then when we had that point in Mayonaka Punch between Masaki and Sakura, and Sakura kind of just goes and kind of says the same thing, like Masaki is this, and this, but in the end, you know, I'm your biggest fan, I still love you, and whatever. I was just kind of like, I didn't really, they didn't really give me enough reason to be like, oh, I totally get that, the whole concept of family and everything, like, so I wasn't really vibing with that, but, like, this episode, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. But again, I think it's, not again, but I think that it's different in the terms of Nina and her relationship with, like, her entire family, but primarily her dad, right? And then, in Mayonaka Punch, it was between two sisters, and I just don't have a good relationship with my sisters, so I'm just like, get that shit out of here. Whatever, you know? So, but, you know, that's also why I'm happy that Nina has a sister who is supportive of her, you know, who came to talk to her about all of this whole spiel, and you know, in the end, cares very much for her, and like, oh, that part where Suzune just tells Nina, you know, like, oh, thank you for still being alive. I'm like, oh, that hurts my eyeballs are getting all teary again, just thinking about it. Anyways, I'm gonna go right back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 10 of Girls Band Cry. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. A great episode, actually. Really enjoyed this one, but hey, you know, it's about family. I got a soft spot for family. So, very much enjoyed this episode, and well, you know, let's just get into it. And the first part is, well, not about the family part, but actually talking about the introduction of Miura Shiomi, who is a part of the Golden Archer Inc. She is a part of the talent agency, and she is scouting out Togenashi Togeari. But also, even before all of that, right, we've got, well, I mean, we have Rupa out here making more fucking Yuri fans out here, dude. But we've got these fools selling merch. The fact, like, I would presume they rented out this stall? Which would have cost them money? Well, again, actually, how did they make these shirts in the first place, actually? Unless they, like, went to a printer and, like, manually printed on these shirts themselves and also bought these shirts. A lot of effort to sell these stuff physically, alright? And as I said, you could just go on Shopify. You can go on Fourth Wall. You can go on, what is that other thing that I can't remember? But, like, there's other fucking shops out there that's, like, online. They do this shit for free. You know, they just take a cut of the sales when you sell it, and like you guys have a lot more presence online, so like you could do that to the people who are online and not around your area. You could probably sell more merch, and by selling more merch I mean hopefully like 5 people buy your fucking merch or something. It's better than nobody buying your merch and you have to stand here trying to sell merch. And also, like, you don't even have to ship it. Like, the fucking company would just make it for you, you know? I'm just saying. Like that this is supposed to be, like, I don't know, a meeting between Miura and Momoka, but we just got the 4 band members just sitting in the back. No drinks or anything. There's only 2 drinks, and it's for the 2 people who are in the main part of the conversation. But Miura says that she loves Diamond Dust, but she doesn't like the way Diamond Dust sounds now. But Momoka argues that with, well, when we sign into the label says that this sound isn't going to make it, and that we need to get with the times, which is, I thought that's very funny, that like I would presume the agency is just filled with old people and they're telling the youngins to get with the time. Also, Momoka did make a point that the people, the fans of Diamond Dust love the way that they are now, right? The old fans might still prefer the old songs, or they might still reminisce about the old songs, but in the end they might end up liking the new ones. But also the new fans who came in, they probably don't know about the old song, the old sound, and they like the current one because that's the only thing that they hear. So, you know, it seems like the labels were correct, probably, even though they haven't really given the other direction a try, but, you know, it's okay. So Momoka talks about how she wants to give her songs a shot, right, to see how it will fare in this world compared to Diamond Dust. Again, we've got the whole thing of like Momoka and Diamond Dust just battling on each other to see who was right, to which the both of them can be right, you know? The both road leads to hardship on its both road leads to hardship. That's all I'm gonna say. And so Miura is just out here like, yeah, I understand you have a festival coming up, don't you? And so, as they said, she says, leave your mark there and we'll talk. If we stand out there, it will be much easier for the agency to get us in touch with a label. Yeah, because, they're an agency, so they have to, and get us in touch with a label. And if we have lots of fans, they won't try to make us change in order to sell better. Yeah, because you guys already have the group and everything. Okay, so that's like the condition. Right, that's, they said the festival is the audition for this talent agency, or at the very least for the talent agency to find a label. So this leads us on over to Momoka asking Nina, the song that we've been working on, could you write the lyrics for it? You know, Nina is the vocalist and all that, you know, if her songs come from her, she might be able to sing it a whole lot better. And Momoka says, I want to see what you do. Hear the song that grew out of my songs. I've planted the seed and now I'm sowing it. And despite, you know, Nina being excited and wanting to write the lyrics, she is having a bit of a problem trying to figure out what she wants to write. She's got so many things to write. You know, she's got so many feelings. Momoka has said it before, but once she gets down to actually writing, so difficult. Don't even know what to write. And it seems like she had something to stop her, right? She had a hurdle that she can't get over, and that hurdle being her family. The first person to appear is her mother. Just coming out here, you know, all worried and shit. And Nina not wanting to see her mother, understandable. Just makes herself, she made an escape. I suppose she just ditched work for today. She's just like, I'm clocking out early, goodbye. And as she was about to go home, she sees her dad just standing out there like a watchdog. Just out here, with his hands on his hip, just scouring the premises. So she couldn't even go home, so she had to crash at Subaru's place. You know, Subaru might as well just be used to this at this point. Nina crashing in her house. Subaru tells Nina that maybe she should just go talk to her family. I mean, almost everybody in her band basically tells her you should probably go talk to your family. But Nina tries to bring Subaru's point with her grandma, right? Like, hey, it's like your grandma where she won't listen. My family won't listen to me either. She says it's like how your grandma wouldn't listen. Their frame of reference is so different that when we try to talk, they never make any sense, okay? But still, besides, I have to focus on writing. There's not much time left. I can't fucking read. Our future depends on it too. I don't have time for distractions. But, you know, again, it was the whole thing of like, well, you are distracting yourself by not going and talking to your family, right? And so here's Subaru saying, sounds to me like you're running away. Which I suppose Subaru was ready to tell her grandma about the fact that she's starting a band and she doesn't actually want to become an actress. But then it was Nina who was just like, whoa, hold on. Let's not talk to her about that. Stop calling me. Your fault for running away. I think that's Suzune. Yeah, I'm not running away. I've been getting called non-stop too, you know? Again, I'm just like, did Suzune had an accent this whole time? I couldn't figure it out. But again, you know, maybe it's because she's at home, you know? Where she is. And she's just like, alright, I'm gonna let it all loose. But yeah, we've got Suzune talking about how like, oh, our parents been calling me non-stop as well. They've been asking me where you might be. Is that a package? It looks like it. You only have yourself and your letter to blame. They can't go and abandon you after that. Yeah, so yeah, she wrote that whole letter of just like, stop sending me money, thanks. I ain't got no mas. So they can't go and abandon you after that. But Nina's just over here like, well, y'all have abandoned me at a much earlier point. So like, why are you getting mad now, huh? Is this Nina's room or is this Suzune's room? Because Nina was sitting here last time, right? Like, towards the end when Suzune came back. Was she? Or is this a different room? With just the same... No, I think it's the same room. Alright. I will say, them going and, like, changing the keys on her. Like, they changed the lock. That's, like, wow, dude. I was like, that's such a fucking shitty move. Like, okay. If you guys had the lock to this whole thing, right? Or you changed the keys... Well, they even changed. I would presume they had to be able to get in order to change the lock, right? They could have just, like, surprised her in the house, you know? Confrontation and all that. But no, they changed the lock, and I'm just like, what if she didn't have anywhere else to stay? I mean, you are basically forcing her to go back home, which is... God, what a fucking move, dude. What a fucking move. So that leads Nina to go and complain about it to Rupa and Tomo, and Rupa ends up giving her this present, right? But she says it's a present from me and Tomo, but it was actually her mom who gave this to her. My god. How much is that? $200? Is it $200? Rupa tries to convince Nina with the whole, well, I couldn't get to talk to my parents because they died and I was too busy working, so I never had the chance to talk to them ever again. Don't miss that chance. Which, you know, when someone says that, sometimes it's a little hard to respond back and say no, because like, oh shit, you know, they are correct. Although, if you try to say that shit on me and my sister, I'd be like, whatever, I won't even attend her funeral. Oh my god, I just realized these are real pictures of food this whole time. My goodness, they even got just like a traditional Japanese breakfast or something right here. And then everything else is just beef bowls. Is this like actually the Yoshinoya that like the chain? I would presume it's the food chain, Yoshinoya. But then the logo's different. Is that the different logo or is that just the logo that they have in Japan? Whatever. Nina, still contemplating, goes to Momoka's place, and Momoka, well, I mean, she tells Nina pretty much the exact same thing. You should probably go visit your parents. And Momoka did tell Nina, like, oh, so that's your weakness, right? Like, you're not hung up about being bullied. What's the other thing? About school. Yeah, you're not hung up about school or bullying at all. It's the fact that your dad didn't take your side. And it's, again, it's an understandable thing. I totally get that. You know what this reminds me of? I've mentioned this story before, but sophomore year of my high school was, I consider the worst year, simply because that was just the time when I had just gotten in trouble, and like in trouble twice or thrice, I can't remember. That's probably most definitely twice. But one of those problems ended up involving the police, and I ended up, you know, getting arrested. You know, it's getting my fingerprint in the database for the police and all that, you know, just typical teenage stuff. But the whole thing was that I was going to be charged with a crime for accessory. I was very, you know, I was very sad, perhaps ashamed, right? And so when I went back home, also I will say, the worst fucking thing out of all that whole fucking spiel, I will say, the worst thing was that I had to, after getting reprimanded by the principals and the assistant principals and all that, I had to go call my parents so then they can go pick me up, because, you know, I can't just walk home, because, you know, they have to pick me up, and then they have to drive me to school the next morning to be arrested. You know, that's just how that was, you know, like, they can't put me in a jail cell overnight. They have to, I had to go to sleep, and then I have to go back to school to get arrested. But I had to call my parents, right? My dad was working, so he wouldn't pick up. My mom wouldn't pick up, even though I knew that she was. I tried calling my brother, he wouldn't pick up, and I was just like, fuck, I don't want to call my sister. So I called my uncle, and I was just like, hey, can you come pick me up? You know, I'm just like, I need to go pick me up. But my uncle, the little fucker, he's like, oh, I don't know what's going on, so I just go tell your sister about it, too. Oh, dude, it's not like the fact that my sister had to come pick me up for it. It was the worst thing ever. I was like, this motherfucker. I'm like, I'm never calling my uncle ever again. But, you know, I had to go home. I had to, I couldn't be in the house because I didn't want to be in the house, so I stayed out in the back, in the background, not the backyard, there you go. It's down in the backyard, and then my dad finally came home, and he was just like, oh, what happened, you know, and I was telling him about, like, the whole thing that was, that was happening. And the thing that really ticked me off during that time was my dad was asking me, because, okay, the whole thing was that, a kid stolen a phone, and he was talking about how he needs to jailbreak it, and me, being the motherfucker who does not give a shit about the person whose phone got stolen at the time, you know, because, well, who am I to care? I got no fucking empathy back then. I was like, yeah, I'll fucking do it for you, so I have the phone, right? But I wasn't the one who stole it, so I got in trouble like that, and so, with that whole spiel being told to my dad would just be like, you didn't tell them that I was going to jailbreak it, right? Because, like, he was trying to make sure that, like, I'm not the one who's going to get in trouble, right? I'm just like, this motherfucker, you son of a bitch. So, in a sense, I kind of get it on what Nina is like. Well, Nina is upset at her father specifically on like him not taking her side in the whole bullying thing, you know, like, but like for me, it just kind of felt like my dad was, I don't know, being a little selfish. Anyways, that story aside, Nina finally decided to go home to have a talking with her parent and all that. Oh, as she was about to knock or something, her parents come back home. You know, they've been searching everywhere for her, not knowing where she would be, and especially, after you lock her out of her apartment, you know, she could have been wandering elsewhere, especially if she didn't have a place to stay, like. Again, what a risky move from these people, dude. Holy shit. Is this a plate holder? I'm still thinking about it. What is this? I don't know what this is. But I'm just over here like, will it hold plates? Is it like a spinny thing? Like, but then there's no, maybe it's on the other side, you know? I don't know. I still don't know what that is. If somebody know what that is, let me let me know in the comments, please. But we've got Nina telling her parents that she wants to go join a band and she wants to, you know, this is what she's going to do for a living, and Suzune's giving them a little bit more detail, you know, apparently they've already been approached by some entertainment agency. I guess Nina did tell her about that, you know, good thing for her. Then we've got her dad just sitting on the other side, smoking with no lights on. Okay. It's one thing to smoke, but, like, it's another to just smoke in a room where, like, you don't, there's, like, no, there's no window or anything for, like, the smoke to at least, like, well, it's not gonna actually go out. It's actually gonna fucking sink into your ceiling, but, you know, so whatever. No bueno, dude, the way that he smokes like that. Ugh. If you're gonna smoke outside, you know, don't smoke indoor. I don't even like the whole, like, smoking rooms places, you know, where you just go in there and smoke. Why? Stop. Hey, you, stop having a nicotine addiction. It's so easy. Just go cold turkey. Suzune did make mention that they were worried about her. I mean, they were going around searching for her and all that. Very worried and such, but once they get back into this household, it just kind of, for Nina, it feels like we're just back at step one again, and it's an understandable thing, right? Like, the worry that your parents show, they might not actually show it in words and just, like, directly to you, right? The things that they do will end up being an indirect thing. But also, like, the fact that her dad is just like, have you considered how this hurts your mother? And it's just like, yeah, sure, but, like, have you considered how much this hurts me, you know? And he kind of goes through the whole thing like, you're a minor. That means we have parental authority over you. So, like, suck it up. Stop being selfish, he says to the fucking teenager. This takes us on over to, what is it? This fucking letter of apology. Again, I would have just taken this letter and just ripped that shit up, dude. But her dad, very weirdly, like, he took her over here just to get the whole letter of apology, and then, like, her dad was, like, starting to talk back to them. I mean, Suzune said something about, like, oh, you should have just sucked it up, and then we would have just gotten the school to give us a recommendation for you to go into a good college or something, you know, just blackmail. And so, like, I don't know, was that what her dad was? Hold on, let me go through this whole thing. So, what about how the school responded? So, because I guess the letter was just kind of written by the principal. So how the school responded. I admit our response wasn't appropriate, but you have to understand that bullying is not so clear-cut. You know, it is kind of clear-cut when you see fucking trash and like fucking water splashed and shit on her fucking table, and she's sitting right in the front where the teacher can see her. Unless she must have cleaned up her mess before the teacher came, right? Oh, it's understandable. I'm not exactly in the position to be saying this. Who's saying this? Exactly, actually? But at the time, the school was fully aware. Oh, that's the dad. And so Nina's just like, enough. But I don't want you to say any more. There's no need to pretend nothing happened. You're the victim in this. And then that just gets Nina just be like, oh my god. I'm a victim? No. Dude, the fact that her dad's just like, no need to pretend nothing is happening. I'm like, yeah, but like, that's what you were doing in the beginning. What the fuck? We cut back to the band, wondering, you know, if she will, if she will come back or not. But Momoka has faith that Nina will come back, of course. And then we've got Tomo, who dropped her mug because she's so worried that Nina's not gonna come back, you know. We've got Rupa out here giving her a hug, you know. It'll be alright. Have some trust. Very nice. Very nice. But hey, Nina finally came back home. She didn't even talk to her mother. She's just like, whatever. I'm out of here. Yeah, so this is the same room. Oh, is that a bunk bed? I guess they slept in this. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, this is the same room. So I guess they shared room. Alright, well, I mean, at least you guys, if you guys were to share a room, oh, it's little cat covers, little curtains. But I was gonna say, even if they were to share rooms, like, at least they like each other, you know, even if they were gonna bicker and all that, at least they still love each other. Yeah, I'm just over here getting all teary. Just thinking about it. I'm sorry, but if you ever spent more than 10 years in a room with your sister and you've never fucking talked to one another because you as the younger sister was just too afraid of the older sister because you know that the older sister hates you as the younger sister? And you live like that for 10 years? That's all I'm gonna say. My anxiety and insecurity didn't come out of nowhere. You know that song? It gave me the push. The push I needed. I was told to act mature, to stay quiet, and put up with it, to do the smart thing, so I thought I had to. I thought that there were no choice but to grin and bear it, but the song saved me. Told me that if I'm not in the wrong, I don't have to give in. That I should stop worrying about consequences and just take the leap. And I don't know if I'm falling into the abyss, or if I've sprouted wings, or am soaring through the skies. But the song gave me courage to take that step, to take the leap. Either way, I can't return to the earth, and I wouldn't want to if I could. Back then I was ready to give up on life. Maybe I never did grow any wings, and this feeling of freedom is just my imagination. But I love who I've become now. Very nice. Going from I hate my life to, hey, well, I hate myself to, hey, I love the way that I am now. I can say with pride, right, this is the real me with nothing held back. And the people who are, you know, her bandmates or her friends, essentially, are the people who love her for the way that she is, even if, you know, they're fucking annoyed with her from time to time, you know? They still stick by her. Oh, and then her sister just sheds a tear. Just one tear, that's all you get. So her sister says, got it, but at least eat before you leave. And then, like, her voice is kind of cracking during this part. Very nice. So they had I still don't know what this is. I thought these were lemon slices at first, but I'm just like, why would you just have lemon slices all over it? But it says, Karashi Renkon curry. Alright, hold on, let me go just search that up if you need me. A mixture of miso and Japanese karashi hot mustard is stuffed into the lotus root coated in turmeric flour batter and deep fried until a crispy crust form. Okay, so these are lotus roots, and like the yellow is from the turmeric. Okay, that makes sense. At least they're not lemon slices. I'd take one, but like, oh my god, a whole plate of just lemon slices? Okay, so this is one of her favorites. That's what her sister says. You must have missed it. And she says, is it okay? Is what okay? Eating here. Family tenants, remember? And her sister's like, whatever. Who gives a shit about these family tenants, am I right? Oh yeah, we see that she slept on the top bunk, I would presume, and her sister slept on the bottom bunk. I mean, then again, if one of your sister left, and one of you sister left, and you had like one bed free, you probably would just take the bottom bunk instead of the top bunk. You don't want to climb up the stairs all the time. The ladders, I mean, not the stairs. I'd slept on the top bunk. We were in a bunk bed the whole time. Ever since you left, things have been a bit strange. Just the other day, Dad was drinking even though he's such a lightweight. Oh my god, he's a fucking chain smoker, and then suddenly he started drinking. It's even worse. And once it got to his head, what do you think I should do? And that surprises Nina, because her dad would never ask for advice. He's been worrying about you. And even though he's a pretty well-regarded educator, he's going all around asking for advice. Yeah, because he just didn't know what the fuck was going on. So, and it's just like that feeling where, you know, they were showing it not towards Nina, but then once Nina came back into the picture, it's just kind of like, oh, I gotta act as the parent. Yeah. And it's just overall no bueno. But hey, at least Susan A is here as the fucking mediator, as the person in the middle, and just have to fucking tell the both of them, you know, both sides of the family, like, hey, this is how they're feeling right now. Mom actually ended up asking your friend to casually give you the tickets for the train to visit. Yeah, so that's when she finds out. You didn't realize, did you? No matter what you think, you're our dear family. They might not always act like it, but Mom and Dad really loves you too. Don't ever forget that, please. Thank you. No, thank you for being alive. I love you too. Ah! Wait a minute, she didn't have an accent here. What the hell? What the shit? She just had an accent when Nina was just calling her over the phone. Hey, you know, you do you know, sometimes people just code switch, you know? It just happens. So before Nina leaves, she hears her dad listens to Void, and so her dad asks, do you like this song? And Nina's just so like, she's just so ready for her dad to just be like, oh, I don't like this song. That's why I'm listening to it. I hate this song. You know, it's that whole typical thing of dads. It's just like, okay, like, if this is what you're interested in, I'm going to listen to it. I'm gonna try to understand why you like the song, you know, what, and a bunch of all these other stuff, you know? So, it is a good song, her dad says, and so she says, Dad, I know I never listen, and I'm stubborn and selfish. I'm sorry for that. Try to smoke a bit less, okay? You know, sorry for being selfish, but like, can you stop smoking? Can you smoke a bit less, please? Jesus Christ, have you seen your ashtray? It's just filled with cigarettes. How have you not gotten smoke cancer yet? Smoke cancer? Lung cancer yet? God, dude, when the smoke gets cancer, that's gonna be really dangerous. I feel that way with, my dad drinking. I was like, you know, maybe he should drink a bit less, but my only hope is that he drinks really shitty beer, and those beer is just like 10% beer, 90% water. My dad used to be a chain smoker, but he told me that when I was born, he decided that he was going to quit smoking. You know, he went cold turkey. And, you know, as a kid, I didn't really fucking believe him. But nowadays, I'm more inclined to be like, I guess, you know, like, especially if my dad had the figure of like, oh, if I keep smoking, I'm gonna fucking die or whatever. But then he still drinks, so like, I don't know what's going on there. So as she walks away, she thinks about I'll be back, like the term I'll be back. Like she wants to say it. Oh yeah, and then also she says like thank you for trimming the bush because she fucking smacked her head against this thing last time. So she just think I'll be back, and then her dad calls out to her, right? Wait, what? And so her dad says, still wants something, but no, he just wanted to say, take care, you know? Take care of yourself. Keep yourself alive, you know? Oh, and then her whole family comes over. There's your new keys. Yeah, I mean, good thing they fucking gave her the keys, because like, what if she comes back and like her lock is still... she still can't get into her apartment? One tear shed, you know, she runs away, and then she runs back, you know, she really gives him a fucking charge, dude, just hug him. I'll be singing a song I've written soon. Come listen if you want. And I love that he was like about to hug her back, and she's just like, no! Maybe she knows that if her dad hugs her, she wouldn't want to leave. Who knows? So that's why she's decided, I'm walking away. And also flips him off while she's at it. And it says, I'll be back. So that's what she wanted to say, but she just couldn't say it. But then now her parents gave her the opportunity. You know that whole thing I was talking about with when you make that decision to burn the bridge, as Nina would say, or Momoka, or Tomo. But that decision that Nina decided to do, that she was going to cut connection with her family, and she wrote the whole letter, you know, stop sending me money, I don't need any more, goodbye. Right, that sends the family into shock, because, again, the whole feeling of, I fucked up to the point where my kids don't want to see me anymore. Sometimes that change could happen within weeks, you know, hopefully. Preference would be within weeks. You know, but sometimes, for some families, it might even take years, you know, it could take 2 years for them to finally come around and be like, okay, I've come to an understanding that I've made a mistake, and, you know, I do want you in my life, and all that jazz. So, again, the whole idea of, like, a kid leaving the family, and especially if that family has some sort of fucking care for the children, would send them into shock, and it makes them snap and, like, start to realize that they've done something wrong. Unless, you know, they're those type that be like, no, it's not my fault. It's the children's who are wrong. But as I said, I have like a first-hand experience in that, because when my sister decided to leave our family and just, you know, just cut connection with all of us, it changed my mom a lot. and I've really felt that she has been a lot more open. Even though she's still kind of the same-ish kind of person, I definitely feel there has been a change in her, especially, I would presume it kind of comes from the fear of losing another of her kid, you know, because as much as it is, I really hate the fact that my sister left the family, because that was my fucking plan. I had plans on that. This fucker took it from me first. And now I gotta fucking reap the benefits, huh? And the consequences. How dare she? The fucker. But I definitely see how it has affected my family, even if it could be in a minute way, but that minute way has gone since like over the fucking years. It has changed into a bigger thing, you know, like it's so I can't particularly go into like full details about it, but you know, that's as much as I will say. Like with my sister leaving and all that, you know, when she fucking left and she never came back home, I was just like, thank the fuck God. You know, oh, finally. But again, I still see the sadness, especially when it comes with my mom and also my dad as well. And yeah, it's when a kid leaves the home and they cut connection with you, hopefully it changes you, and hopefully it changes you for the better. But the final scene of this whole stuff, it's kind of like a reminiscence of the first episode, and then, you know, Nina getting to see the whole group instead of just Momoka there, right? It's the whole band waiting for her. Very nice, very fun, and don't really have too much to say, you know? Nina has written her lyrics. We didn't get to see it, but, well, I would presume we will see it in the next episode, so that will be fun. Also, Nina has now made peace with her family, so I wonder how she will now react to Hina. You know, we've got like 2 episodes left, I think. Hold on, I have to check how. Yeah, we've got 2 episodes left, and we still haven't really gotten much about Hina just yet. So I mean, it has to be one of these 2 episodes. So we'll just have to see. You know, hopefully, as Nina made peace with her family, she may probably make peace with Hina as well, because, I mean, Momoka already made peace with Diamond Dust, even though they didn't really have any beef in the first place. So, you know, I would presume that's how it is. We're gonna have at least some sort of healthy competition instead of, you know, the 2 lead singer of the 2 bands just fucking not liking each other. But hey, until then, we'll just have to see. As I said, this was a great episode. Don't tell anybody about what you've heard from what I said, alright? Thank you. This is a secret between you and me. You, me, and everybody else watching. My God. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. And that's it. Bye.